Before you're tempted to throw it all in a box and deal with it later, now is actually the time to decide how to save school year memories as they come in. Think of all that darling artwork, the school pictures, the ribbons, the certificates. Choose your memory keeping plan now and execute it all year. Studio 5 Papercraft guest Jill Broadbent is giving you the system for saving without overwhelm and without regrets, and also how to make it a little cute, because we like that too.
Yep.
We like that too. We've had a few years to consider this challenge and how to work it out. What do you see are the common problems with memory keeping and paper storing and all that comes with it?
Well, it's like a massive influx, right? Every day they're coming home with these stacks.
It's a landslide.
And when they're younger, they're so proud of it, and they're like, we have to keep this forever.
Oh, daily I'm tiptoeing to the garbage when I think they're distracted. I'm that mom, you know?
Yeah, but I think it's important to figure out how to organize it and then what to keep. And I think those are the things we always wrestle with, right? Because in the moment you're like, I will love this forever.
Yes.
But really, will you, you know? So it's about keeping the sampling. I think it's important that you keep components of everything, but just a sampling. So we started with our oldest. When she was 3, she thought she was an artist. I mean, she is, but she thought, I'm an artist.
She's offended
and
now.
everything I make is beautiful.
Yes.
And so we started a masterpiece book. So we started with a binder. And you can use cheap, nice, whatever you want, and filled it with empty sheet protectors. So fill it with just a bunch of these.
This is your masterpiece collection.
This is your masterpiece book. You know, so decorate it cute if you want, or grab a binder, whatever works for you. And decide even how big you want to say for the next 13 years.
Yeah, how committed are we to masterpieces?
What are we keeping? So with our kids, we would say, is it a masterpiece? Like, that's so good. I love what you drew. Is it a masterpiece? And let them decide. If it was a masterpiece, they slid it right into the sheet protector. So then you have a book at the end that's just the masterpieces. And it doesn't have to just be art. This could be a test you got an A on that you worked really hard for. I mean, maybe they're getting lots of A's, but was this one special? Do we want to keep it? So a sampling, whether it's art or photos or, you know, drawings or just whatever it is, let them help us decide what goes in the book. But if you start with the empty book, fill it with sheet protectors, then you don't have to worry about from the fridge to the folder to the box. You just go, okay, you love it, we're going to keep it, it goes in here.
I think that's a good point. I read one time to try to limit how many times you touch something. So if you're putting it immediately into a semi-firm system.
And then, like, my daughter just graduated, we were able to take her masterpiece book and look through it. And she was like, I remember that piece of art that I made in 2nd grade.
You know? Jill is really brave to take on this topic right now as she just sent off this college graduate who's going to be kind of the example in a lot of the things we talk about.
But look, I mean, these are the kinds of things we did keep. Look at this, a handprint. That's pretty special, right? So a handprint. Then who I am in 2nd grade and the funny things that she chose. And it's fun to look back and see what of those are the same and what are different.
Is her favorite food still cucumber?
Yeah, I think so. And with a little chips and queso on the side. And then this is like her senior year art portfolio. So, you know, we've gone from stick figures to this, but I have a sampling of all of it in that one special book.
Yes, since we kind of slid into the schoolwork arena, what do we do with all of those school papers still?
So, yeah, I think that's just where you're just deciding what is going in there and what's not.
What's part of this?
I mean, you can do something like this where you just do a folder per year and put in just the things that are important for that year, and you could file that versus a binder. But just coming up with, in advance, if you can, a system. And if you're past that point, that's okay. You know, you can still go back and sort. If you have been saving 12 years of stuff in a box, then go back and kind of implement this and maybe have your adult kids over and have them go through it with you and say, I remember that, I want to keep that, and help them still be a part of the curating process.
I do like to underscore the start now, because the overwhelm can set in, and even the regret, like why didn't I, or I wish I would have. But the start now philosophy, I think, is sound. Like wherever you are, pick up now and find a system that
it's never too late
going forward.
And what I think helped me jumpstart this was when Lily was 2, I went to a scrapbooking class at a local scrapbooking store, which was so fun, and made this entire album.
Right here?
Right here. And she was 2, so she hadn't started school. These are pages I pulled out of it. And it was just something that was going to document the school photo every year, right? So if that's all you're documenting, how cool is that? That you can have one place that you go back and look for every year's class photo. So I only order the 5x7, and that's all I do with that is document it here. This one we did some of her favorite things over the years and added that to the little list. You can add their teachers' names, you know, different things. But I made this album in an afternoon at a scrapbook store and had the best time, and then it was done and ready for 12 years ahead.
It was there waiting for you.
Yep.
This, though, also, as you talk about that afternoon commitment, something that you could easily, this is approachable. You could go back and get all of
what our goal is, right?
all of the photos, the 5x7s from just the official snapshot and make something of that.
Yeah. So I've done it then with all my kids. So then I've chosen different papers, different approaches, you know, but they're simple. And then this one is the one I did for my daughter, and they're simple and kind of, you know, going to be classic forever, just those school fun papers, but it does give you a place to store those.
Show us the simplicity, because you've got a method here to put together a really easy page.
So this is the one I actually, as I was doing it, I'm like, I can make this so that everyone can just copy this. If you like this, you can see they're all different, but I've done a similar, simple approach to all of them.
Okay.
So with this one, I went ahead and made a cutting diagram, a supply list, and some PDFs for everyone, and some printables.
You're amazing.
So these kinds of things, you could just print this off. The PDFs are on the Studio 5 website, so you can grab these PDFs, the instructions, a supply list of what you need, how many sheets of what paper, and then you can build this in a couple of hours
I'm
for
here
all
for
the
it.
years.
Okay,
so you get to choose. Here you go. These are the simple pieces of paper that we cut down. So you can choose a pattern paper, and a cardstock. And you know, if you are doing it along with the photos, you can choose what matches their outfit. And then you're just going to glue the pattern paper on the left side about an inch in. You're just kind of putting it together as, let's turn this one around so you can have a little sample there. And then your cardstock overlaps it just a little bit.
I love that you've made this so easy. And again, approaching just...
So just scoot it over so it kind of fills the page.
Oh, got it.
And we're gonna, and then your photo would go right on top of that. And so you're getting a little fun with color. You could do this all with cardstock. You could use pattern paper.
Look at this.
And then we just made some fun. Lots of brands will have a branding strip at the top with some fun patterns, but if not, just cut pattern paper into these 1/2-inch strips. And then that I just cut for fun.
Look at
with
you.
some scissors. Like I cut it at an angle and used part up at the top and part at the bottom.
Down here.
So.
Oh my gosh, we're doing it.
Yep. And then I did put some circles. I think a circle element is just a nice way to break it up. And then that's where these little circles can come in. If you have stamps or anything else, you can do that. But I made this printable so that all you have to do is pop out the circles. You can hand cut them, or if you have a circle cutter, it's a 2-inch circle.
And that becomes
the grade that they were in.
The K, the 1, the 2.
And then you can do the grade at the top, and I've got little strips that you, so.
Look at this.
What you do from there then is totally up to you. If you want to add embellishments, like I added some gems or whatever, you can, but if not, like done is great, you know?
Yep.
They're teacher and it's perfect.
Look at this. Look at this.
That is a super easy way to do it. I wanted to show you, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we do 12 of these?
Yep, well, or you can do, I think I have it so that you can do 14. Preschool, kindergarten, 1 through 12.
Nice.
So, it should be super easy, and you can just follow that template if you want, or get creative and make your own. But just getting it done all at once, and then it's ready.
That's it.
You don't have to worry about, oh, I haven't scrapbooked that year yet.
A dedicated project. Now, quickly before we say goodbye, for the mom looking backward, for the mom that you've described visiting a box of stuff.
I think it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think you go through the box with the same concept in mind. I think the most important thing to think of is you're trying to hold on to the memories, not the materials. So if we are having that opportunity to go through everything and decide what is giving me the memory. If it's big posters, take a picture of it and put it in the book. If it's all the stuff that you've collected that feels like clutter, decide what helps document those memories instead of keeping all the material.
Okay, you had one bonus tip here?
Yeah, this was just to show you how to do cutting down a 5x7 paper. This is just a scrapbooker's tip, because this is a 5x7, right? These photos are. So I trimmed those down just a tiny bit, but when you want to cut a 5x7, then you can go into a 12x12 piece of paper and come right at the 5-inch mark here, and then you cut at the 7 and don't cut all the way through. And then you just keep turning 90 degrees and cut to the 7, and you go to the 5, the 7, the 5, the 7, and as you go around, you're going to get 4 5x7s, and you're left with like a 2-inch spot in the middle.
It's the 5, 7, 5, 7 rotation.
But if you, if you cut all the way through, you can only get 3. But if you do it this way, you get 4.
My husband makes fun of me. I don't know if you know this about me, but I worked at a scrapbook store for many years, and I often tell him one of my greatest life skills is learning how to work that darn
the paper trimmer.
Paper trimmer. I know it. I know it. So thank you for those tips and that psychological advice too, because that's part of it, the emotional decision. Where can we get more from you, Miss Jill?
You can find me at Crafty Afternoon on Instagram.
Okay, and good luck with that college student. She's doing good. She's ready, so you're excited, right?
Doing good. Yep.
We'll link you over to Jill's Instagram from our website, where you'll find all of these fabulous printables too. So be sure to pay studio5.ksl.com a visit and give it a Control P.